there's been a lot of discussion about where does it come from? Are narcissists born or are they made? And I certainly don't have the definitive answer to that question. But one thing I think is relevant is this. I suspect that many narcissists grew up in environments in which their ordinary, expectable emotional needs were not met. This is far from unusual, as we all know. However, I think that this particular group of people decide to deal with that problem, that issue, that circumstance, by deciding they will make sure that their needs are met, and they'll do it by coercion if it isn't readily given. So a narcissist is somebody who is trying to wring out of other people, wring out of the environment, the attention, the focus that they very likely haven't had as a child. If you think about Trump, for example, he was the child of a very overbearing father. I don't think that there was much attention to his need, what went on with him. And it's interesting that he had a sibling who took the other route in these kinds of situations. He found his solace, Frank he was called, Frank found his solace in alcohol. So he dealt with his lack of attention, lack of emotional attention by turning to a substance. What Trump did, if my theory has anything going for it, was to decide that he would decide who gave him attention and how they gave him attention, and he would punish people who didn't give him attention. So, you know, it's no accident that he was the what do you call it, the chairman of the American version of The Apprentice. So "you're fired" is, of course, a wonderful ego boost for somebody who feels that they need to be front and center, that they need to be in charge, that they need to be getting what they want. So that's my tentative theory about where it comes from. But it certainly is a very powerful personality disorder in its more exaggerated forms, and will easily destroy the lives of people round, and will be very difficult to manage as a part of a family, for example, with a narcissistic parent. So we're thinking, if we try and think in a compassionate and understanding kind of way, that a narcissist is somebody who is compensating for something they haven't had. Now, what we know from the work that we do is that you can't get your compensation from outside. What you didn't get from the outside when you were little, you will not get from the outside growing up. So whether that's reassurance or soothing or attention or whatever it is, you have to learn to give that to yourself. You have to learn to self-soothe. You have to learn to put your needs first if you're one of these people pleasers, as we say. And if you're a narcissist, you will never be satisfied by the amount of attention that you get. It's a bottomless hole. It's an endless pit of need. So what we're looking at is something that doesn't get better. It doesn't get better with age, as many conditions do. It doesn't get better with time. It doesn't get better with indications that people don't like how you are. It's a very persevering, continuing, enduring personality trait, which of course is why it's often called a personality defect. So for that reason, because it's so enduring, because it's so persistent, we rarely get people like that in our consulting room. That can you imagine Trump allowing himself to be vulnerable, allowing himself to admit his mistakes, allowing himself to reflect on how he's been and how his life has been? Not going to happen, is it? And that's how it is with most narcissists who have a pathological degree of narcissism. So the people that we do get are the children of narcissists, and they are very often wounded soldiers.